Right. Have you ever found yourself in a business conversation, maybe internationally, where every single word just felt like it truly mattered?
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe you walked away thinking, gosh, I wish I'd said that differently or, made my point clearer.
Oh, absolutely. Happens all the time.
Well, today we're taking a deep dive into exactly that, the art of effective business communication. We've looked at some really practical guides like Commercial English 3 Account Management.
Great stuff in there.
Yeah. And our mission really is to pull out the most crucial insights, give you a kind of shortcut to feeling more informed and, honestly, just more confident in those interactions.
It's not just what you say, is it?
No, it's the how and why those little choices, those subtle things, make such a difference.
Yeah. And what's really fascinating, I think, is how these seemingly small etiquette points or word choices can have this huge, almost cascading impact
Totally.
on trust, on collaboration. I mean, ultimately on your success. We're sort of peeling back the layers on those foundations that people often, well, maybe don't even notice.
Exactly. Yeah. Like you said, maybe they seem obvious, like common sense.
Right.
But the sources we looked at show they were the absolute bedrock for building trust.
Mm.
Take punctuality, for instance.
Right. Seems so basic.
It does.
Yeah.
But it's more than just politeness, isn't it?
Mm.
It's framed as a minimum requirement for collaboration to even work effectively, being, say, 5 minutes early. That seems to be the sweet spot.
Mm-hmm. And being late. Well, it just screams unprofessional. It sends that message, maybe subconsciously, that you don't value the other person's time.
Yeah, that disrespect can really stick.
It can. And the guides are super clear. If something unavoidable happens, a disaster strikes, you have to let them know. Fast.
Like pick up the phone.
Ideally, yeah, a phone call. Apologize sincerely. Take responsibility. It's all about damage control. Fixing that dent in the trust immediately.
That makes total sense. I mean,
Uh-huh.
just think about how you feel when someone keeps you waiting for a meeting. It instantly changes the mood, doesn't it? It feels like you're not a priority.
Mm.
And this idea extends to how you start things off, like knowing names and making introductions properly.
Oh, yeah. That's crucial.
The sources really stress doing your homework names, titles, maybe some relevant background info before you even walk in the room. They even suggest practicing names out loud.
And there's that little trick, isn't there? Using a name, 3 times helps lodge it in your memory.
Yeah, apparently. But it's
Okay.
more than just like a memory trick, right?
Oh, definitely. It signals you actually see them as an individual, that you value them. And introductions, they shouldn't just be name tags.
What do you mean?
Well, the advice is to share something, a little tidbit of information that can spark a real connection, build some rapport,
Ah, okay.
and use those open-ended questions, the hows and whys, to get people talking, not just giving you a yes or no.
So it's really about deliberately trying to build that human bridge,
Yeah.
going beyond just the business transaction.
Exactly.
And speaking of connection, active listening and body language, these are huge.
Huge and easily overlooked.
Yeah, the sources have this great line, not speaking does not mean listening. How true is that? So many people are just quiet because they're waiting for their turn to jump in.
Mm-hmm. Just reloading. Active listening is about really showing you're engaged, nodding, maybe a smile when appropriate, letting there be a bit of a pause before you jump in with an answer.
Right, actually thinking about it.
Yeah, and listening for the feelings behind the words, the deeper meaning, not
Mhm.
just the surface facts. It's about processing, not just, hearing sounds.
And your body.
Yeah.
It's broadcasting messages constantly, even if you don't realize it.
Totally. Facial expressions, how you sit or stand, little movements,
Hmm.
they all send signals. And watching others carefully, that helps you learn more and communicate better yourself.
And phones. Oh boy. The sources are pretty blunt.
Uh-huh, yeah. Distraction machines.
Big time. They say even a quick glance at your phone can be like relationship ending in a meeting context.
No.
Yeah. Hide them. Silence them. There's this quote. It is very rare that the potential damage to the relationship, respect, and credibility is worth it.
That's a powerful way to put it. It really makes you think, doesn't it? In this world of constant pings and notifications, how can you make sure you're genuinely present?
Yeah.
How do you convey that respect and value to the person right in front of you? It all seems to boil down to intentionality.
Absolutely. Intentionality in every little detail. Okay, so once you've got that etiquette foundation sorted, the next layer is the words themselves, right? And the sources highlight some really effective ways to sort of soften your communication, especially in English, which can sometimes come across as quite direct if you're not careful.
This is where those linguistic nuances really make a difference, shifting the whole tone.
Yeah, like using questions instead of commands. So instead of barking, move on to the conclusion, you might ask.
Could we perhaps move on to the conclusion, please? Something like that.
Exactly. It feels different, doesn't it? It gives the other person agency. And modal verbs, those words like would, could, should, may, might, they're like magic softening agents.
Yeah, I want a better price versus I would like a better price. Night and day.
Totally. Or what about, would you mind sending us the feedback as soon as possible, please?
Mm-hmm. Or, by any chance, would you be able to talk me through the project plan? It just shows more respect for their time and, their willingness to help.
Another good one is adding the why, explaining your reasoning, and avoiding blame.
Okay, tell me more about that.
So instead of just saying, I don't think your presentation worked, you add the reason because the audience didn't seem engaged, there weren't many questions. It becomes constructive.
Right. Helpful, not just critical.
And the blame thing, using the passive voice, instead of Jane sent the wrong reports, which points a finger directly at Jane.
You could say, we were sent the wrong reports.
Exactly. It focuses on the problem, the error, not the person. It just lowers the temperature, Avoids making people defensive straight away.
It's a subtle shift, grammatically, but psychologically. Huge difference.
Yeah. And then we have the power words, as the sources call them. Please, thank you, and sorry.
The classics. But powerful.
Definitely. Please isn't just manners. It gets things done. Please read the one-pager. It's a clear, polite instruction.
And thank you. Well, that's just fundamental for building connections, trust, goodwill.
Yeah. Thank you for taking the time and trouble to help us.
Yeah.
It shows you value their effort. But there's a warning, right?
Ah, yes. The tone, thanks
That's
a
a
lot,
lot.
can easily slip into sarcasm if you're not careful.
Right. Got to watch that. And, sorry, the sources stress it's not a sign of weakness.
No, quite the opposite sometimes. It's key for genuine apologies, obviously, but also for softening requests or even refusals.
Like, sorry, could you please explain that point again?
Yeah.
It takes the edge off asking them to repeat themselves.
Exactly. When you look at the big picture, these simple words, please, thank you, sorry, they're like the basic building blocks for feeling safe and respected in a business relationship.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Let's talk about some of the trickier conversations, managing expectations, handling conflict, that kind of thing.
Right, the tough stuff.
The sources are pretty direct here. The advice is consistently underpromise and then overdeliver.
A classic for a reason. It's about managing expectations effectively from the start, setting them, agreeing on them, and then consistently meeting or ideally exceeding them.
It builds that performance record, that trust. It means thinking ahead, visualizing different scenarios, planning for misunderstandings.
Because, as the material points out, the cost of an unhappy customer is rarely worth it. It mentions McDonald's as an example.
Oh, yeah. How so?
Well, you know what you're going to get, right? A consistent minimum acceptable standard. That predictability builds trust. So if a staff member then does something extra, something better, it feels like a huge win and builds loyalty.
Ah, I see. It's the reliable baseline plus the occasional pleasant surprise. Makes sense. So how does this translate into specific language for managing expectations?
Clarity is key. If you genuinely can't do something, be direct but polite. I regret I cannot support that right now. But always try to show empathy. The sandwich approach is good here.
Sandwich?
Yeah, start positive. Thanks for thinking of me.
Yeah.
Deliver the news. Unfortunately, I'm overcommitted. And positive. But I appreciate you asking.
Okay, got it. Share the reason, and then you decide whether to close the door or leave it ajar for later.
Precisely. Which leads nicely into saying no effectively.
Which can be really hard.
It can. But often the best way is without actually using the word no.
How does that work?
Phrases like, sadly, I can't make that meeting, or unfortunately, my budget is already fully committed elsewhere. It gets the message across gently but firmly.
That phrase, thank you, but no thank you. It's simple but effective, isn't it? Gratitude plus decline.
Exactly. Now, if you do need to be explicit with no, the advice is to justify it briefly. Sorry, but that price simply doesn't work for us because...
Right. And what if you said yes before, but now you have to back out? That's awkward.
Very. The key, then, is a sincere apology, taking full responsibility and trying to offer something else, an alternative or a sweetener.
Like, Mandy, look, I am so sorry I have to let you down on this. My boss has just pulled me onto an urgent project. Something like that.
Perfect. Own it, explain briefly, offer what you can. Okay, moving on to escalations. When things get heated,
Ooh, tricky territory.
The sources suggest a clear process. Acknowledge, empathize, reassure, AER.
Okay, break that down.
First, acknowledge their reality. I'm so sorry your experience sounds unacceptable. Validate their feelings.
Got it. Then empathize.
Yeah. Show you understand. I completely get why you're concerned, or I realize this is frustrating and how it's affecting you. Connect on a human level.
And finally, reassure.
Right. Give them confidence you'll act. Please let me find a solution for this as quickly as possible, or I'll look into this right away.
That AER sequence sounds really useful for diffusing tension. It validates them before you even get to solutions.
Exactly. But again, the caution is under-promise, over-deliver. Even here. Don't promise a fix you can't guarantee, and always clarify what you understood the problem to be. People hear what they want to hear sometimes.
Good point. What if someone is genuinely angry, though? Like shouting or using inappropriate language?
That requires setting a boundary, calmly but firmly, something like, Mr. Jones, I'm sorry, but I can't continue this conversation if you're using that kind of language. If you can stop, I promise I will do everything I can to help you.
So you address the behavior, not the person, and offer help conditionally.
Precisely, and definitely avoid those trigger phrases. As I said before, calm down.
Oh yeah, calm down never works.
Never. Or it's not my fault, that's not my job, or bluntly, you're wrong, they just add fuel to the fire.
It really seems the core goal is always de-escalation first, defensiveness last, making sure your words help, not hinder.
Absolutely. And this brings us perfectly to where, as you said, the deep dive really kicks in.
Yeah.
How culture profoundly shapes all of this. And how even just asking a question can be, well, surprisingly complex.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Culture.
Huge differences. Take disagreement. In some cultures, the sources mention Israel, France, Germany, direct, even confrontational disagreement is often seen as positive, productive.
Really? Like, it helps get to the best answer.
Exactly. It's about battling ideas, not people.
Right.
But in other cultures, say India, Japan, China, harmony is the priority. Direct public disagreement. That can be really damaging to relationships.
Wow. So your natural style could be completely wrong depending on who you're talking to.
Totally at odds. Or think about giving negative feedback.
Okay.
Places like Israel or Russia might be very direct. Just say it.
Yeah.
But in India or Japan, much more indirect. Softer language, maybe the feedback sandwich, positive, negative, positive, and almost always done privately. Understanding that could save you from some major awkwardness. Or worse.
It can transform friction into stronger connections just by being aware and adapting how you say something.
That's a massive insight. It really underlines the need for adaptability. It's not one size fits all. And what about asking questions? You said that was complex too.
Well, you have your basic open questions, how, why that invite detail, and closed questions for quick yes-no answers. Simple enough. But then you get into leading questions.
The ones designed to nudge someone towards a particular answer.
Exactly. Like, wouldn't it be safer if we started the project in March? They can be useful strategically, but you have to be careful. People can feel manipulated if it's too obvious.
Right. And even trickier are loaded questions.
Yes. These are dangerous. They seem simple on the surface, but they sneak in an assumption, often a negative one, like a little punch.
You give an example.
Something like, has your factory always had a problem delivering on time? See? It just assumes there is a problem. Highly offensive in many contexts.
Ouch. Yeah, that would put anyone on the defensive immediately.
For sure. So knowing the difference between leading and loaded, that can save you from a big misstep or help you spot when someone's using one on you.
And if you just want to ask a regular question more politely.
Soften it. Add phrases like, I was wondering if you could possibly share, or would it be okay if I asked for, or do you think I might be able to get another explanation? It just shows respect.
Wow, okay. That was quite the deep dive, wasn't it? From basic etiquette that's actually foundational to navigating tricky cultural waters and really thinking about the power packed into single words. We covered a lot.
We really did. And if we connect it all back, I think the core takeaway is that need for constant intentionality, being aware.
Yeah.
Effective communication isn't just automatic pilot. It's about consciously understanding the unspoken stuff, the cultural context, and making deliberate choices about your language.
So, thinking about everything we've unpacked today, building trust, managing those tough conversations, cultural awareness, here's something for you, the listener, to consider. What's one communication habit, big or small, that you could commit to practicing more intentionally this week?
Yeah, what's one small shift you could make that might just transform your business interactions? It could be as simple as pausing before you respond, or maybe trying that sandwich technique for feedback.
Lots to think about. Keep diving deep, everyone, and we'll see you next time.